Many thanks for choosing us. Government has announced a raft of taxes to be introduced this year. It says are needed to shore up its revenue to undertake the projects and programs outlined this year. Key amongst them is the sanitation and pollution levy, which will see the prices of petroleum products go up by 5.7%. Caretaker Finance Minister Oseche Mensah-Bonsu announced these when he presented the 2021 budget to Parliament Friday.
To provide the requisite resources to address these challenges and fund these activities, government is proposing a sanitation and pollution levy, SPL, of 10 pesos on the price per litre of petrol or diesel under the Energy Sector Levies Act, ESLA, Energy Sector Recovery Levy, Delta Fund. Mr. Speaker, it will be recalled, yes, Bola tax, to clean up our environment so that you are not afflicted by diseases.
Road tolls, the minister announced, will also be benchmarked to inflation so that the tolls would automatically go up to cater for inflation.
Mr. Speaker, to maintain improvement on our roads, and all of us in this House, every now and then demanding of the Minister for Roads improvements in our road network and indeed improvements in our roads. Mr. Speaker, to maintain the improvement on our roads, government will review existing road tolls and align them with current market rates.
That's not all. Government says to pay for the COVID-19 vaccines as well as finance the construction of its Agenda 111 district hospitals and other projects in the health sector, the National Health Insurance Levy will be increased. There will, however, be some reliefs, including a suspension of the payment of the third and fourth quarter income tax for trotros and taxis to reduce the cost of transportation. Now, players in the hospitality sector will also get some relief to ease the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on their businesses.
Vehicle income tax. Suspension of quarterly installment payments of the vehicle income tax for the third, fourth, and fourth quarters of 2021 for trotros and taxis as part of measures to reduce the cost of transportation. Mr. Speaker, in line with your pause for effect, your system of pause for effect, can I repeat this? Suspension of quarterly installment payments of vehicle income tax for the third and fourth quarters of 2021 for trotros and taxis as part of measures to reduce the cost of transportation. Government is therefore rolling out these additional reliefs for different sections of the population, especially those hardest hit by the pandemic. 1, tax rebate. Provision of a rebate of 30% of the income tax due to companies, hotels and restaurants, education, arts and entertainment, and travel and tours for the second, third, and fourth quarters of 2021. Tax stamps. Suspension of quarterly income tax installment payments for the second, third, and fourth quarters of 2021 for small businesses using the income tax stamp system. The
Caretaker Finance Minister also provided details on its much-touted Ghana Cares Obatampa project, which seeks to inject 100 billion Ghana cedis to stabilize, revitalize, and transform Ghana's economy to create jobs and prosperity for Ghanaians over a 3-year period.
Mr. Speaker, the last 4 years left no Ghanaian in doubt that ours is a government that cares. We care about the welfare of the people. We care about the need for business to create wealth. The next 4 years will see a more clinical structural focus on President Akufo-Addo's transformation agenda as we build with deliberate rapidity on the gains so far made. In this regard, pursuing the 100 billion Ghana Cares Obatampa program, which by far is the boldest and biggest economic recovery program in the country's history, will enable us to turn the challenges created by COVID-19 into opportunities for socio-economic transformation. This program will foster closer collaboration with the Ghanaian private sector, labor, the people, our development partners, and foreign investors. The Obatampa program is inspired by His Excellency the President's conviction that, and I quote, "What our forebears dreamed of, we will achieve. If we inherited dreams and visions from our founding fathers, we should leave legacies of achievements and realities to our children and their children."
Also, Chairman Sabons also revealed that Ghana's budget has risen to over 291.6 billion cedis as at the end of December 2020, but maintains that despite the impact of COVID-19, the rate of growth of public debt has been lower than what previous governments recorded.
Mr. Speaker, the total debt stock mix was made up of a provisional figure of 141.780 billion for external debt and 149.83389 billion for domestic debt, accounting approximately for 48% and 51.4% of the total public debt stock, respectively. As a percentage of GDP, external domestic debt represented 36.99% and 39.09% respectively. Speaker, the total public debt has increased from 122 billion, that is 6.9 GDP, to 291.6 billion, that is 76.1% of GDP as at the end of December 2020. Included in the debt stock and the debt to GDP ratio at the end of 2020 are the following non-recurrent burdens that we had to deal with as a matter of urgency. One, the fiscal impact of COVID-19 is 19.7 billion. The cost of the financial sector cleanup is 21 billion Ghana cedis. Cost of excess capacity charges paid to IPPs, that's 12 billion Ghana cedis. The impact of the reduction in growth from an average of 7% to 0.9% in 2020. Speaker, if these expenditures are excluded and the drop in GDP growth in 2020 primarily attributable to COVID-19 pandemic is taken into account, the total stock of debt for 2020 would have been approximately 239.9 billion, implying a debt to GDP ratio of 58.7%.
One of the topical issues in the budget statement delivered to Parliament is the COVID-19 and the impact it's had on our social life and the economy. Chairman Sabunsu provided an update on the country's vaccine deployment and some constraints in the rollout.
Speaker, the seminal breakthroughs in vaccine development gives hope that economies can reopen more quickly than anticipated. However, logistical challenges in access and administration of vaccines and the continued mutation and emergence of more infectious variants of the virus may further delay the resumption of full economic activities around the world. Mr. Speaker, in line with the President's determination to protect the lives of Ghanaians, we have prioritized the vaccination program against COVID-19. Through the bold leadership and adept diplomacy of His Excellency the President, Ghana became the first country in the world to receive its first batch of vaccines of 600,000 doses through the COVAX initiative on Wednesday, the 24th February 2021. We are also working assiduously to secure vaccine for 20 million Ghanaians to enable us to attain herd immunity by the end of this year. Once again, Ghana has stepped up in front. Thanks to His Excellency the President's leadership, we are championing African excellence to become the vanguard against COVID-19 on this continent. However, Speaker, until we achieve herd immunity, we cannot let our guard down if we are to contain the spread of this virus. We must all commit to taking the vaccines in addition to adhering to the COVID-19 protocols that have been instituted for our safety and gradual return to full economic activities.